Hi, this is Eric Beeman. I'm going to do my screencast on my learning management system for 6020. So here we go. Let's kind of go through, I'm going to kind of go through the rubric there and kind of go through everything. So structure and outline of the unit. So I have different things. I have all about me, and there's just kind of a little uh, introduction of myself. And a little bit of contact information. In the getting started section, I have the general information. I have a syllabus, which I updated. I resubmitted it, by the way. So I want to take a look at that. Should be a lot better. I changed a lot actually. So um, I've basically picked math to use mainly because gamification. I thought I went well with that. That's my emerging trend that I'm researching. So I thought that would go well. Math seems to be an easy way to gamify. So uh, I had to pick um, Unit 4 for math expressions, which is the Red Clay approved curriculum that I have to use. So I had to kind of come up with creative ways to make sure I teach the curriculum to fidelity, but also try to make things more technology involved. So this is the syllabus, and basically Unit 4 covers two standards, NTBA 2 and NTBA 1, which is place value and adding and subtracting. Now, there's about 17 lessons in Unit 4. I kind of picked the most important ones because a lot of them were repetitive. And I'll kind of go over how the class actually works, but they're the activities and the points values. And basically, they have activities, they get 1 point to do their classwork, and then they usually have a post test they have to take, and that's usually worth 5 points. So I chose 4-1, which is place value drawings, 4-2, which is building numbers, 4-5, which is rounding, 4-7, which is multi-digit addition, and 4-11, which is subtraction. And then I kind of went over some of the scoring, and I'll kind of get to that in a little bit. So that was my getting started. Also had an introductory activity. I fixed that as well, and it should be a little better now. So it's a Flipgrid. I made a screencast. They can watch how to use Flipgrid, and basically they had to introduce themselves and talk about what their favorite math activity or skill were. Now, let's see. So that was getting started. There's my learning module. I'll get to that in a second. Add some Schoology resources here. They can kind of look at math expression resources. There's the online student workbook they can access. MegaMath is kind of like a online math teaching system that's associated with something called Think Central, which is part of my math curriculum. iTools I will get to in a little bit. And Zearn's kind of another online learning math system where it's very interactive. I can assign different lessons from Zearn. I like it a lot better. We're required to use Dreambox mostly because the district paid for it, but Zearn is actually free and it's technically better. So I kind of try to get Zearn in there a lot. I have a parent help center, basically for Common Core videos to kind of show them the different ways that Common Core do things. My sources are down here. I'm going to go ahead and get into my learning module and kind of take you through. So Math Expressions Unit 4. I set up the progressions here a little bit. So let's get to 4-1 and kind of take you through. So basically they come back from lunch and we do math. Now, it's kind of my lessons are kind of blocked into different sections here. So usually they come in and I'm required now to do SBAC practice. So they have to do an SBAC daily question when they come in. I pulled it right from the practice test, and they can post their answers in the comments there. After that, I usually want them to do fluency. One, because it helps a lot, and two, because it quiets them down and gets them calm for the lesson. So 5-minute fluency, I think this one's a subtraction problem. So they have to do flashcards usually, some sort of flashcards. This is subtraction flashcards. Sometimes it's multiplication flashcards or addition flashcards, division. So usually they have about 5 minutes on that. Usually that calms them down as well, which is nice. Then I actually get into my lesson. So I have teacher tools here and a couple things I want to use as teacher tools. So I have a vocabulary on place value, which is kind of like this video song thing. It's like brain pop, but with hip hop. Just check it out sometime if you've never seen it. I have a link to my online math book that I can put on the smartboard. Usually I have to teach a couple pages. Is usually what I have to do. So if you want to take a look here, I'll show you quickly as I can. So 4-1, I would go here. 4-1 lesson 1. There's usually two. There's some pages we talk about, kind of read. So this one's on place value. So we usually go over these on the smartboard. I'll usually have students coming up. We talk and kind of go over this. But before we actually do the lesson, I forgot to mention that they're going to have to take a pretest on all this. So I like to give them a pretest on place value. Kind of lets me know what they know before I go over, and kind of lets me know how much they learn as well. I know we had to make goals, so usually at the bottom for their post test, there's a goal, 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, and 4 out of 5 would be progressing towards the standard. 5 out of 5 would be making the standard or meeting the standard. So they take a pretest, so they have to do these 3 when they come in. Then usually I'll teach my lesson. Usually my lessons involve iTools. So I'll kind of show you this. And the students have access to this as well. So, place value, we can kind of make numbers. I can kind of take them through this. Eventually, I'll be teaching them how to add. So we can, add 3-digit numbers here. Like 100. Oopsie. Sorry. Okay. So I can make little numbers here, and then we usually go over to add them. It's an online manipulative. It's usually way better than. It's way less messy than a lot of manipulatives are and things like that. So when they're done, we can line it up. We can add it. I can show them. They can see the regrouping. So it's a way better way of teaching, and I have a nice smartboard to do that on as well. So usually that would be my lesson, and they have access to this to help them on certain things. So usually after the iTools lesson, they have a brain pop, they have counts, they can watch the video on place value in case maybe it covers something I don't as well. There's usually a quiz they take. Destination Math is part of Think Central, which is part of Math Expressions. It's kind of like another online kind of thing. Zern, which is what I like, usually has a little more complex lessons and things like that. Gave them a math writing prompt here using, I think it's Padlet. So they would post little things on here, and we can kind of go over that later the next day as well. And that is place value. At the end, they take a post test, and I usually do small group instruction. We have Math RTI, so this kind of will help me know who needs to come on back for Math RTI the next day and things like that. Now I'm going to kind of take you through assessments real quick. I have a few assessments here. Quick quiz 1, less out of 3 out of 5 does not meet standard. So they have a few of these. These are my formative assessments. Usually after these, they have to take these. Those are the main basis for their grade. Again here, quick quiz 2. And then Form B is the summative. And if they have less than 13, they did not meet the standard. If they 13 through 16, they're progressing towards the standard, and 17 out of 20 meets the standard. And I can compare the pre-test to the post-test as well to see if they got better. So that kind of shows the goals and things like that. And let's take you through another one of these. Let's try 4-5. And you can go through there. I made you an admin. I don't know if that messes you up, but I made you an administrator to kind of see things. So again, pre-test, post-test, brain pop, Buzz Math as well. This one we're playing a Kahoot at the end. 4-7. I have iTools again. I have, let's see here, 5-minute fluency. Look at all this here. Here I have a iTools to subtract. This is their individual assessment. They have to take a screenshot of their iTools. They basically have to solve this problem, take a screenshot, submit it, and then I have a rubric that I can grade stuff through. Let's see. Now, the group assessment, the group assignment would be right here. Group assignment, group collaborative project. I decided that as a group, they were going to be assigned the different skills they learned in Unit 4, rounding, expanded form, estimation, two-digit subtraction, addition, place value. And basically, they have to watch a screencast on how to make a Kahoot quiz. I set up a Kahoot account for my class.
Hi, everybody. Mr.
They can
Beeman
watch that. We're not going to watch that. If you want to watch it, you can come on and watch it. But basically, the students watch that. Shows them how to make a Kahoot quiz. They have to make a rough draft, multiple choice question for the Kahoot, share with their partners, and then they're going to get on and log on to Kahoot and make review quizzes that are going to help us review for our unit for summative assessment. So that's how that goes. Let's see, group assignment, media, lots of different screencasts. I think I have 3 different screencasts I did on different things. There's a discussion board. A lot of these assignments, especially the daily questions, they have discussion boards. I have different videos. Trying to think if there's anything I'm missing here. Traditional, individual, learner module. Oh, I did set them up so they must complete things in order. So go in here. Then my student progressions are set up, and sometimes it gives them kind of things like that. This one's on expanded form. They have to watch a screencast I made on expanded form. I also played something called Beat the Teacher, gamification. So sometimes they have to do games. There's an Ed puzzle. If you're familiar with that puzzle, they watch videos, and then it stops and asks them questions. If they get it right, they can keep going on the video. There's another screencast I made of expanded form. I think I used Edu Creations for this.
Hi, everybody. Mr. Beeman here. I'm going to go.
Well, you can watch that if you like. But that is my screencast of my LMS. Thank you.